What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about some upcoming catalysts that should be coming within the next couple of weeks that will definitely benefit a lot of Lucid investors. So I'm going to go through all of that with you, but before I do, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. With that though, let's get right to it. So the first upfront catalyst most likely will be starting next week, and that is always seen as the 13F. So institutions disclosing their positions to the SEC, and typically when a lot of the big players disclose their positions, such as the PIF, I'm just going to show you right here. So the PIF, Vanguard, there's also BlackRock, Franklin, a lot of big names there, and typically a lot of retail investors love to follow this. So when it does go to show that Vanguard, for instance, increases their position 36.7%, that's seen as a very good catalyst. Although all this information is delayed, a lot of people still love this information. So for instance, if the PIF or Vanguard does increase their position, that is going to be a massive catalyst for Lucid despite the Q2 earnings that did come out. So just take that how you see that. Keep in mind though, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But outside of that though, this is going to last over the next 2 weeks. So technically there's going to be some such as BlackRock and Franklin, most likely going to be next week. The PIF will be the following week. So this will be a very good catalyst to keep in mind. In addition to that, there is going to be one possible catalyst coming out next week. And what I mean by that is this. So CPI data is coming out, which of course CPI data is one of those touchy subjects, especially for 2022, because people see that, they think of higher interest rates, blah, blah, blah. But aside from that though, it is anticipated that this CPI data is going to show a nice trend down, because typically a lot of people look at the month over month to see as far as changes. And if you do not know, CPI data has a very large energy component, which in reality has been skewing the CPI numbers pretty significantly, insinuating and showing that there's higher inflation than most likely what there is. This is why the Feds like to use the PCE rather than CPI, but still, when it comes down to it though, CPI is still very much important. But from this time last month, energy started to go down significantly, insinuating that this CPI might actually be lower than expected. If so, anticipate that the broader market, not necessarily just Lucid, is going to go on a massive run. Because again, that is one of the biggest things out there that's been causing a lot of fear, is inflation, which theoretically this is where people say is going to lead to a recession and so forth. So if this does show that it's going down, that's going to be a very, very big catalyst, and people are going to be forgetting all about the Q2 numbers and just look forward into that. So just take that how you see that. And like I mentioned several times already in this video, Q2 numbers, although wasn't necessarily the best results, it still technically is out there. So our price adjusted accordingly. So where we are sitting at is already factoring in all the new relevant information. So that generally is a fairly good thing. But from the transcript from the Q2 earnings, there is one attribute and one point I do want to bring up, and it is about the gravity, which could be seen as a very, very big catalyst. Because when it comes down to Lucid, they have a huge expectation for the gravity. Even myself, out of anything, I think the gravity would be a little bit more of the vehicle that I orient myself towards. So it goes on to say right here in the actual transcript what Peter was saying. I'm also very excited about the potential reservation demand for the Project Gravity SUV, which we are now considering just about how to debut it and how to precisely open reservations. That is going to be a very, very big deal, especially, like I said, the huge anticipation. I'm just going to show you this, a little bit more outdated information, but it is the most relevant information that we do have, which still does show the gravity in 2023. But of course, that aside, it goes to show the huge dependence. So you can see 12,000 was anticipated for 2023, jumps to 49,000 in 2024, 86 in 2025, and 134,000 vehicles anticipated of the gravity to be produced and sold by 2026. That is absolutely insane. And you can see based on even the Air, it doesn't go nearly as much as the gravity. So clearly there's a huge anticipation from Lucid and its investors on the gravity. So goes to show that potentially when they do open reservations, that can be seen and will be seen as a very, very big catalyst. And especially when they do say that they're now considering it, most likely will be likely in the next month or possibly two. But of course, Lucid isn't necessarily the most transparent, so we may get a little bit more PR just saying, as of right now, we're doing reservations on the Gravity. I'm not really sure, but still, I know that this is going to be a very, very big catalyst. So let me know your thoughts on those three catalysts, at least in the short term, that should give Lucid a nice bump up. Like I always say, this is only for entertainment purposes, so make sure you guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. I see these as all very big catalysts, especially if this is the very rare chance, because keep in mind, Q2, we did take a pretty severe dip in price, so possibly the PIF might have actually added, which in general would be a huge catalyst. So let me know your thoughts on all of this. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. And if you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. And stay tuned as well, because I'm going to be doing my weekly recap video for the following week on where I give my price predictions and things like that. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.